boys and girls, it's Mrs. Bible back with Jolly Fun number 6. Do you remember the sound we were talking about yesterday? The I sound? We learned lots of different spellings as well. Today, we're going to review our I song, and we're going to learn a new song about those spellings we learned. Hang on tight. Get your brain ready. Here we go. Let's see if you remember the I song. Ready?
The captain said aye, aye. The captain said aye, aye. Stand up straight, don't be late. The captain said aye, aye.
Good job. Let's sing that again.
The captain said aye, aye. The captain said aye, aye. Stand up straight, don't be late. The captain said aye, aye.
Nice singing. Now let's review some of those spellings that we learned for the I sound. Let's see if you remember the spellings we learned for the sound of I. I-E, I-G-H, Y, and I silent E. Here we go. Let's read the first word. Ready? My. Which spelling is spelling the I sound? If you said the Y, you are correct. Let's see what's next. Wow, let's see if we can read this big word. Ready? Let's break it down into two parts. Here we go. Remember, I-G-H is I. Here we go. Light. Light. Let's do the second syllable. Ning. Ning. Can we put it together? Lightning. Lightning. Which spelling for I do we have? Is it I-E or I-G-H? If you said I-G-H, you're right. Oh, here we have a nice little short word. Can we read it? I. Tie, like I can tie my shoes. Which spelling for I? Is it I-E or Y? It's I-E. All right, let's do two more. This is an interesting two-syllable word. The first syllable is re. Can you say that with me? Reply. Reply. When you reply, that means you answer someone. Can you find which letter is making the I sound? Reply. It's the Y. Let's do one more. Wow, this is something I hope you all get today. Ready? Let's try to read it. Prize. Prize. Which spelling do we see in prize? Is it I-E or is it I silent E? I think it's I silent E because I see the Z is pushing in between the I and the E. Good job. Now, since I-G-H is a challenging spelling for that I sound, I thought we could use this magic light and practice reading some words with I-G-H where we hear the I sound. Let's turn the light on. Hey, what word do you see here? Let's read it. Light. Light. Good job. What three letters are making that I sound? Do you remember? I-G-H. Let's try the next one. Ooh, we can do this one. It rhymes with light. Ready? I-T. Night. Good job. Wow, here's a big two-syllable word. Let's break it up. Mid. Whoa, sorry, boys and girls. Let's go back. Let's see. Oh, Miss Bible. We'll come back to that in a minute, okay? Let's skip midnight and go right to this one. I hit the wrong button there. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Silly me. All right, let's try this word. I. Thigh. Do you know where your thigh is? It's the part of your leg above your knee. Next one. Bright. Bright. Good job. I. High. I Now here the Y is read like the E sound. Do you remember that sometimes when we see a Y at the end of the word, it can sound like E or it can sound like I? And I'm going to teach you a little trick. When there's one syllable, like in the words cry, try, fly, the Y usually sounds like I. But if it's a 2-syllable or 3 or 4-syllable word, most of the time that Y is going to sound like the E, like in baby, mommy, daddy. So when you see the Y, if it's a little short word, usually it's going to sound like the I. All righty. Let's move on to our next activity. I had so much fun with our word sort yesterday, I thought I would make a new word sort for the sound of A and the sound of I. Let's see if you can help me sort my words today. Let's start with this word up here. Ready? Rain. Is it AI or is it IE? I think it's A, rain. All right, how about this word? Let's read it. Main. A-I or I-E? I think it's A because Maine and rain rhyme. Let's try this word up here. Can you read it? Pie. Do you hear A or I? I hear I. Let's read this one. Sail. Do you hear A or I in the middle? I hear A. Let's try this one. Eyes, cries. Do you hear A or I? I hear I in the middle. All right, let's try this one. Stain, stain. Do you hear A or I? I hear A. Let's try ties, ties. I see an I-E and I hear I. So let's put this over here in the I column. All right, here we go. Let's do this one at the bottom. Fries. I like French fries. Do you? Boy, I'd like to have some right now, I think. My dog Fergus likes fries too. Here's another one. Aim. I hear A. Aim is when you decide that you're going to go after something. It's kind of like a goal. Or if you aim to do better. It can be a goal or it can be something you want to work toward. Now we have a great big challenge word, but I think you can do it. Let's break it down and see if we can read this big word. Butter. Flies. Butterflies. Wow, let's count how many words and letters in that big word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 letters. You just read a word with 11 letters. Butterflies. And I hear that I near the end. Now here's a little song I wrote for you to help you remember those spellings for I that we learned. And it goes like this. How to spell long I, how to spell long I. There are several ways, my friend, to spell the sound long I. For flies you use I-E, for spy you use a Y, and 9 and I with magic E, then night 3 letters I-G-H. Let's sing that again. How to spell long I, how to spell long I. There are several ways, my friend, to spell the sound long I. For flies you use I-E, for spy you use a Y, and 9 and I with magic E, then night 3 letters I-G-H. Now for our story. Today I thought we would just read one of my favorite books. Sometimes we read to learn, Sometimes we read to practice our sounds, and sometimes we just read because it feels so good to listen to a story and pretend to be somewhere else. This is one of my very favorite books, and it's called Albert by Donna Jo Napoli. I'm going to read the page to you, and then I'm going to show you the pictures. Albert. Albert sat at his table and drank tomato juice and listened to the noises of the morning. The people in the apartment above clattered downstairs and out the door on their way to work. The dog next door barked hello to everyone who passed. Children giggled on their way to school. These were good noises. Albert stood up and worked his hand out between the grill work over the window. He wanted to check the weather. The garbage truck rumbled by. That wasn't a good noise. Albert shook his head. Too cold, he said. He shut the window and rubbed his hands to warm them. Then he sat down and read the comic strip. Here's Albert reading his comic strip. Can you see? There's his juice, and he's reading. Well, let's see if we can get the light. There we go. All right, page 2. The next day, Albert ate lunch and listened to the noises of midday. The mailman sang as he slung his pack over his shoulder. The snack vendor shouted out the day's special, golden bean cakes. The flower lady laughed with her customers. Good noises today, very good noises. Albert went to the window and reached his hand toward the maple tree. How was the weather today? 2 men walked past arguing. Now that wasn't a good noise. Too damp. Albert shut the window and wiped his hands on his trousers. Then he took out a pack of cards and he did some card tricks. Here's the street outside of Albert's house. Can you see it? And then can you see Albert doing a card trick? He's balancing a card on his nose. Can you do that? I don't think I could do that. Let's see what's going to happen next. The next day, Albert said, too hot. And the next day, too breezy. Albert told himself that when the weather was right, just right, he'd put on his hat and he'd go for a walk. And every day the weather seemed good at first, but after a moment more, it turned out the weather was never just right. So Albert listened to baseball games on the radio and cut pictures out of magazines and wrote postcards. He never mailed. So here's Albert cutting out his pictures, listening to the baseball game, and writing his postcards. Then one sunny day, Albert stuck his hand out the window, and the next thing he knew, a twig appeared in it. Albert looked around in surprise. Where do you think the twig came from, boys and girls? A cardinal flew by and dropped in another twig. And then there were 2 cardinals, a bright red male and a brown-yellow female, and both of them were dropping twig after twig. Albert watched, dumbfounded, as his now cupped hand filled to the brim. The cardinals fluttered and fussed and poked and pulled. They heaped grasses into the center of the twigs. Finally, the female shaped the nest to fit her breast, and she settled in. Oh my, can you see what's happening? The cardinals have built a nest right in, let's see if I can get that for you to see, right in Albert's hand. There we go. Can you see the nest? Oh my, what's Albert gonna do? Albert stared at her. Excuse me, my arm's not a branch, he said. But the cardinal didn't even look at him. She flew off, leaving a nest of 4 tiny eggs in Albert's hand. With his free hand, Albert scratched his head. If he pulled his arm in, twisting to get it back through the grill work, the nest would surely fall apart. So he stood there. So here's Albert. His arm is out the window, and there's a nest in his hand. What do you think he should do? We're going to have to wait until tomorrow to find out. See you then.